Hello and welcome to the Downsized. My name's Laraine Durham, and this is our channel where we talk about our journey with GLP-1 weight loss medications. This is my husband, Christopher Durham. Say hello, Christopher
Hello.
Durham. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We hope that you'll watch us.
This is our weekly weigh-in, is what we call it, and it will, of course, include us telling you what we weigh, what's going on this week, as well as we have a lot of big news updates. I think there's 5 stories this week. There's a lot going on in the world of GLP-1s. Just do the Reader's Digest condensed version for you and a little bit of color commentary from Laraine on what we think is going on. Laraine, did you want to start with the weigh-in?
Sure. This week I lost 1 pound. Yay! My current weight is 149.4. My personal goal weight is about 145. I'm down 43.6 pounds in total since September 29th of 2023. How'd you do this week, Christopher? Not as good as my 1 pound,
Not as good as your 1 pound, unfortunately. I think I'm about even for the week, but
Mhm.
to give you the numbers, I started at 285.4 pounds. Today I'm 221.2 pounds. So I think if you listen to last week's, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was basically that. But it was one of those weird weeks where we weigh every day. I do.
What's your total?
Total's right at 65 pounds down.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so nothing to be embarrassed about. We weigh every day, though. And it's the ballad of the scale thing.
Boy, I don't even know.
I don't have a bad relationship with the scale. It's just a device to me. So it's no different than an iPhone to me. I don't care. I think on Tuesday I was up 2.7 pounds. The next day I was down 1.3 pounds. It was just this every day. Hey, what am I going to weigh today?
Yeah, that's why the thems recommend that you weigh once a week, or some people even weigh less than that, once a month. I personally weigh myself every day because that's what I do, and you're not going to tell me that not to do that, and apparently you're not going to tell you not to do that.
Actually, because we use the digital scale,
Yeah.
I think Lorraine's going to do a whole video on the scale we use.
We love our scale. It tells us all kinds of information like our body fat percent, our BMI, we don't care about BMI, but our water weight, our skeletal muscle percent, our bone mass, how many calories you need to burn when you're at rest.
I like the data. I like to see the other things.
You have to look at your weight as just data, and that's really hard if you've been weighing yourself since age 6.
Well, I haven't been doing that. I couldn't tell you what I weighed at 6, so I have no earthly idea.
I have a pretty good idea, but we won't talk about that.
That's a whole different conversation.
Conversation.
Anyway, we started September 29th of 2023. Between the two of us, I'm down about 65 pounds, and you're down how much total?
What did I say? 40.
40. You forgot.
45.
You know what you weighed at 6.
It's about 45.
About 45 pounds.
About 45 pounds.
We're closing in on actually more than 100 pounds between the two of us.
Yeah, and my weight loss has been pretty on the slow side, I guess. It's 1 to 2 pounds a week is my average, which is what the experts recommend. 1 to 2 pounds a week, not too fast. You've lost a little bit faster than that. You're more like 2 to 3, I think.
It slowed a little bit as I've lost weight, though.
Yeah, as we
turns out when you're fatter, it's easier to lose weight.
The more you have to lose, the quicker generally you do lose.
I am currently on the 10 milligram dose. As I showed last week in the video, I did my 4th 10 milligram Zepbound. And as I predicted, we could not find Zepbound.
Can't find any more within 100-mile radius of
if it's out there hiding somewhere, I don't know. Maybe there's a secret black market for Zepbound. So this week, actually, I did a compounded shot. We had actually filmed this video once and had technical difficulties. So I did this shot on video. Next week, I'll do it and show it to you guys. But I actually did it in my arm this week with compounded from Mochi at the 10 milligram as well. So that's the first time I've ever done my arm. I'll do the arm again next week.
How are you feeling now, a couple days later with the arm? Does it feel any different? No, any other side effects? Any more appetite suppression?
I don't notice any difference.
We did go get ice cream last night, so I would say, and that was your idea.
I was down another 1.4, so it's okay.
Yeah, sometimes I think maybe
some
people don't eat enough.
Sometimes I think that the benefit of fats in your diet are underestimated.
And just calories total. If you have to eat enough to lose, your body can't think it's starving. Your body has to be able to release some of that weight.
Anyway, so I will stay on the 10 milligram. This will be my second month on the 10 milligram, and we'll talk about the reason for that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm on 12.5 milligram, and this is my 5th week at 12.5. I don't think I'll go up to 15 because I'm pretty close to my goal, so I want to see what maintenance is going to look like. I'll stay on the 12.5 for a while, maybe drop down to 10 in a couple weeks, maybe stretch out time between my shots once I get to my personal goal weight. Try to go 2 weeks between and see how my hunger levels do with that.
When we get there, we'll explore what maintenance is with you guys as well. Yeah. What were we up to this week?
This week I had my book club. I have some friends in the neighborhood, and we get together once a month and pick a book, talk about a book. This month's book was The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store, which I did not get a chance to finish. I got about 40 pounds in and just...
About 40 pounds in?
40 pounds, Freudian slip there, eh? 40 pages in, and just got busy, life, whatever. We chat, and people have noticed my weight loss, and my friends there had noticed and asked me what people that hadn't seen my post in our YouTube channel. They had some questions, and it was a friendly crowd. One of the questions was, will you have to stay on this medicine forever? And my general response to this and what I said was, yes, probably, and I don't care, that's fine. A lot of people question that, maybe, although you wouldn't question someone with high blood pressure taking a high blood pressure medication.
Statins and blood pressure and cholesterol.
Right, high cholesterol medication.
As long as we've been married, so 20 years.
Yeah. My friend Barb over at healthyatanycost.com, she wrote a post with 101 responses to questions. I think she put it as GLP-1 haters. Her response was, if I don't take this forever, my life will be a lot shorter. She also wrote, so what if I'm on the medications forever? Better than being dead forever. So Barb has these posted on her blog, and you can go again and read them. And another question I got was, doesn't it bother you that the long-term effects of this medication are not known? And I said, it's FDA approved for weight loss. And that kind of... why do we need to know the long-term effects? But I saw an answer to this from a doctor on Instagram. We don't question the long-term effects of any other new medications when they come down the pike. Why do we question a weight loss medication? Is it a obesity bias? Is it a form of fat shaming? Yeah, I don't know. These are questions we want to explore here.
And I know the long-term effects of being fat.
Long-term effects of obesity or type 2 diabetes, all kinds of problems from being overweight. So
my mother died only a few years older than I am.
Yeah.
And weight was a contributing factor.
It definitely was a contributing factor. And that's scary.
It's a big deal. Now, I know you talked to Barb, so tell me about, you've got an interview coming up with her, right?
Yeah, on Wednesday, we'll release our interview. Barb's lost over 200 pounds.
Several times.
And now she's on some GLP-1 medications that she basically believes have saved her life. I hope that you'll tune in and see that. Another question or another comment I got at book club was, oh, my problem is wine and snacks. And I said, oh, I know all about wine and snacks. We'll explore the connection between GLP-1 medications and alcohol a little bit later. We've got a news story about that coming up. But in the meantime, Christopher?
Well, so a few weeks ago, we went, and I haven't had a new suit in, I don't know, so probably since our engagement party.
Well, what do you need a suit for? We work from home.
We work from home. People don't wear suits anymore. Right. As part of our business outside of YouTube, we do conferences, and I'm the MC. I present at the conference. I'm on stage in front of several hundred people all day for 2.5 days, right? When we started this whole journey on GLP-1s and weight loss, I set a goal of basically losing 60 plus pounds, which we're at, and said, I'm going to buy myself some snazzy new suits. In doing an investigation on suits, because I hadn't bought a suit in forever, you can go to the department stores, Joseph A. Banks, whatever. I found a store called Indochino that makes basically sort of partial custom suit. Semi-custom suits, not any more expensive than a department store. Riches, or there's no Riches
anymore. Wow.
Riches from
You're
Atlanta.
old.
Right, a Macy's or a Belk or Dillard's or whatever. Basically the same price, but you go in and they measure you and they work off of standard patterns, and then they adjust them so that when the suit arrives.
So you pick your fabrics, you pick your buttons,
you pick
your linings, you pick your thread color.
And it arrived and it fit me.
What a concept.
For a man with short arms and,
short
a large girth, I don't know that I've ever had a suit that actually fit. They all kind of feel rough. So I bought 2 suits. So the reason I'm going to stay on the 10 milligrams, first of all, I think it's working fine. Second, I don't really want to aggressively lose weight over the next few weeks because I want the suits to fit as I stand on stage and all of that. I'm sure we'll have some before and after shots of new suits versus last year in the conference, and there's a dramatic difference.
Me too. We have some shots of us from the conference last year. So.
Yeah. I also released a food noise video. You'll see there's a new thumbnail of me going.
It's hilarious. If you want to know what food noise is, watch this video. Even if you do know what food noise is, this is hilarious. And warning, he talks about all of his favorite foods. So if you're triggered by talk of barbecue potato chips, just be aware.
French fries.
Where can I get a 8-foot paella pan?
Yeah, something like that.
Christopher cooks. He's the cook. I'm the eater. That's how we get along so well, I guess.
Absolutely. Anyway, that's what we've had going on this weekend. So we like to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of GLP-1s, Mounjaro, Zepbound, Ozempic, Wegovy, Saxenda, Trulicity. Is that all of them? I can't think. And whatever's coming up.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff in the news this past week. First of all, coming up very quickly, Eli Lilly and Company will announce its first quarter 2024 financial results on April 30th in a few days. Lilly will also conduct a conference call that day with the investment community and media to further detail the company's financial performance. We're anxious to see what they're going to say. So what are they going to talk about? All these shortages. Certainly the shortages have impacted their sales. If you don't have it, you can't sell it. And Wall Street's going to want to know what's going on. Hopefully they'll give us some insight into what's going to happen over the course of the next few months, the next few years with that. And there's some in the YouTube community who believes they're going to announce that they will release Mounjaro, Zepbound, and vials. Will they? I don't know. It seems like a smart thing to do.
I saw a stock analyst on CNBC talking about how they might announce how they've discovered that this medication works great for sleep apnea.
We know that. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, but I think they could announce.
I'm sure they'll say that.
Yeah, and their stock price has just steadily gone up. Maybe we should buy some.
We probably should have bought some a year ago. The conference call will be at 10 Eastern time on the 30th. Stay tuned. We might pop up on YouTube that day if there's something exciting and give you a little insight into what they're saying. But if you want to, you can go to lilly.com on their webcast and presentations, and you can actually watch it yourself. So all the information's out there available to you. Story number 2, Laraine.
This story is about GLP-1s and alcohol. A study that was published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation, this was last May 16, 2023, the glucagon-like peptide 1, or GLP-1, analog semaglutide reduces alcohol drinking and modulates central GABA neurotransmission. That sounds pretty complicated.
It's very scientific.
Yeah. But basically, semaglutide is the medicine in Wegovy and Ozempic.
It's the GLP-1 part of tirzepatide, because there's GLP-1 and GIP.
Yes, it's very complicated. But basically, it's coming down to say that semaglutide reduces alcohol consumption. Growing evidence indicates that the glucagon-like peptide, or GLP-1 system, is involved in the neurobiology of addictive behaviors, and GLP-1 analogs may be used for the treatment of alcohol use disorder, or AUD. They examined the effects of semaglutide on alcohol use in rats.
So they gave rats shots of tequila.
Rats had a little party. I think it was a lever that they pushed, and they got alcohol or sweet water. Semaglutide reduced binge-like drinking and dependence-induced alcohol drinking in rats. The semaglutide decreased the alcohol intake. This just suggested that we need further clinical testing, and this could be a new therapy for alcoholism. I know personally, I'm on compounded tirzepatide, my wine consumption has gone because it doesn't agree with me. It makes me sick after one glass. So I've been drinking a lot less wine. And we'll put a link in the comments to this study if you want to check it out for yourself.
It just points to these drugs do a lot of pretty amazing things, and
What
they
doesn't
really
it do,
impact
really? Mm-hmm.
the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So addiction centers, food addiction, alcohol addiction. Who knows what else it's good for?
and I'll again say,
Sleep
Novo
apnea.
Nordisk, Eli Lilly.
We need more. Please make more.
It looks like the runway for sales on these just is never ending, and you're going to make a lot of money. But please get your supply chain right before you start getting it approved. Because last week we talked about sleep apnea. This week we're talking about alcoholism. Absolutely. But if you announce these, we'll never get anything. So, let's make sure we get the diabetics and the obese people.
Well, we want everyone to have the medicine that they need. And I
Absolutely.
was involved in a little skirmish on Facebook this morning with people saying my diabetic friends can't get Manjaro because all fat people are taking it away from them and they're more important. And the obese people say, I'm important. Everybody's important. Obesity is a disease. Diabetes is a disease. Everybody needs access to this medicine. So please, Eli Lilly, ramp up your production.
Have you ever noticed it's not the actual diabetics complaining about it?
It's the friends,
of the diabetics.
The guy who came at me in a Weight Watchers meeting once, he was an actual type 2 diabetic. And when I first mentioned in my Weight Watcher meeting that I was taking this medication, he's on Manjaro and I can't get it anywhere. And it's because of people like you. And this was back in like February. And I said, I've had no problem getting it at CVS.
Yeah, but let's be incredibly clear. It's not because fat people are trying to medicate and take care of themselves.
No.
Because I was pre-diabetic. I had all this stuff. It's because the manufacturers are not producing enough.
Right.
It's a supply chain problem. It's not you get to judge me over what I'm doing.
People do.
I know.
Judge.
We're not standing for that. I'm not doing it.
No, we're not. That's why we're here.
Anyway, so hopefully they're trying to take care of that, right? Story number 3. Hopefully this story will help the supply chain issue a little bit. On Monday, Eli Lilly and Nexus Pharmaceuticals announced an agreement for Lilly to acquire manufacturing facilities from Nexus. And if you don't know Nexus, because why would we? They're a leading sterile manufacturer in the pharmaceutical industry. They make shots of things. Right? So it's all injectables. The acquisition of this FDA-approved facility in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. So we're in Charlotte, the other side of the country, will expand Lilly's global parenteral or injectable product manufacturing network and support increased demand for the company's injectable medications like we talk about every day, Zepbound and Manjaro. Lilly estimates that the production at this facility could begin at the end of 2025. Now, what's interesting is Nexus wasn't contracting this out. They weren't paying for other people. It's completely a Nexus facility. It'll be completely an Eli Lilly facility. I think they're making more vials than anything else. It kind of points to releasing the vials or to moving some of their other vial-based medications there and opening production in other plants. Who knows? Either way, more production can't hurt. Story number 4. This one's exciting.
Yeah, you may have seen this one on the national news this week. The Senate has launched an investigation into the high prices of Ozempic and Wegovy in the U.S. Novo Nordisk's popular weight loss diabetes drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy, the Senate has launched some questions for them. Senator Bernie Sanders asked Novo Nordisk's CEO in a letter how the price of the drugs is determined and about the amount the pharmaceutical company spends on research and development.
Our resident grumpy old man got into business.
Yo, dude, why does this stuff cost so much?
Bernie, good for you, man.
Before insurance, Novo Nordisk charges about $1,000 a month for Ozempic and roughly $1,350 a month for Wegovy.
So already a fat tax there.
Yeah. A study last month said that Ozempic could be manufactured for less than $5 a month. $5 a month. As important as these drugs are, they will not do any good for the millions of patients who cannot afford them, wrote Sanders. Sanders also laid out in stark terms the dilemma facing American insurers, including the government, given how high the costs are for potentially life-changing drugs. And I quote, if the prices for these products are not substantially reduced, they also have the potential to bankrupt Medicare, Medicaid, and our entire healthcare system, he wrote. Sanders noted that Novo Nordisk charges far less for the same drugs in other countries. The company charges $969 in the U.S. on average for 1 month of Ozempic, but just $155 in Canada and just $59 in Germany.
So
they're price
this
gouging
is
Americans?
where, no matter what your politics are, right? Party affiliation be damned. It doesn't really matter. When you see a company selling this
Same exact drug.
for
$155 in Canada.
$59 in a country in Europe,
We could
and
fly to Canada. No.
we
and
certainly
get
could.
it, buy it cheaper than.
It just doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't
So
make
this
any
is where
sense.
government regulation.
$59 in Germany.
Yeah.
Why? Makes me mad. Go, Bernie. You get him, Bernie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feel the burn.
Story number 5. This is our final story. And again, there's so much going on in the world of GLP-1s right now that the pipelines are just starting to pick up. And these first couple of drugs, I think, are just the tip of the iceberg. There's a company called Metsera, which has entered into the weight loss drug market, and they just received $290 million in funding. New York-based startup Metsera really stepped out of the shadow. Most people haven't heard of them, and that $290 million funding is going to change what they're doing. Their goal
It's a lot of money.
is to disrupt the weight loss drug market, which is currently dominated by the big two we know of, Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. Metsera's pipeline is packed with potential game changers, including an injectable GLP-1 receptor agonist in phase 1 trials, a dual amylin calcitonin receptor agonist, DACRA, paired with a GLP-1 agonist, and a groundbreaking unimolecular GLP-1 GIP glucagon combination alongside the DACRA. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff, and they're adding a whole nother level to it.
More stuff is coming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. On top of that, they're leveraging an oral peptide delivery platform, boasting 2 independent-ready candidates and several other early-stage programs. They're talking injectables and they're talking a pill.
A pill instead of an injectable.
Basically,
no pen needed.
Basically, this is a research company
that's
developing these, and they have an arsenal of long-acting injectable and oral agents, and they want to change the world, right? They want to do something. So let's hope they can
money.
Do this. They have what's a pretty impressive seasoned team, a strong investor backing, and they're poised to make waves in the healthcare industry. Do I know Metsera? Can I endorse them? Not a clue. Honestly, it's a press release. Do I hope they're right? Absolutely, I do.
I'm all for a way to get this medicine in the hands of more people that need it. And if that means an oral medication, then that'd be great.
Imagine maybe it gets down to you're doing an injectable once a week, once a month, and then at maintenance you could go to oral. That'd be huge. Or if you could go straight to oral, that opens up the world. And that changes the economics of it.
And then you don't have all this plastic. It's more environmentally friendly too.
If you could get it into the hands of more people, and we had less obese people, healthcare costs would go down. Period. So Bernie, help us out, man. Come on. Anyway, that's what we've got going on this week. Thank you for joining us. As always, we're excited to have you be a part of our community. We continue to see growth on the YouTube channel. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do leave comments. Laraine responds to every comment on there, and invite them to be a part of the interview series, please.
We have the Downsized dish that I've been interviewing so far, some friends, some neighbors, and some people that I've met along the way on this journey who just come on and talk about their weight loss journey, their GLP-1 journey. So if that's you and you want to chat with me on our show, please put a message in the comments and I'll get in touch.
And honestly, it doesn't matter if you're in your first week of the journey.
Right.
Or you're in your second year of it or lifetime.
Right.
Everybody has a different perspective and do them virtually, which is awesome. Actually, the one that we have coming up on Wednesday, Laraine interviewed Barb. She's in Florida, so it was all virtual. You'll see it.
We didn't know her before this.
Yeah, so we met her through this community. So thank you very much for being a part of our journey. And we hope we can all get healthier and feel better together. For the Downsized, I'm Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.